Queen, Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon. Rock royalty. About Queen, there have been loads of documentaries produced, books were written about their achievements, and the music they produced is still relevant today as it was the day it was released. These series of videos will bring you some interesting and maybe unknown stories about our favorite band. Every episode, together, we will explore some of the wildest, funniest, exciting, and sometimes sad moments in Queen's history. So if you're ready, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button to get notified when the next episode will be online. We went to South America originally because we've been invited down. They wanted 4 wholesome lads to play some nice music. By the end of it, I wanted to buy up the entire continent and install myself as president. The idea to do a big South American tour has been in our minds for a long time. But Queen on the Road is not just a band, it involves a vast number of people and costs a lot of money for us to tour. In the end we said, fuck the cost. Darlings, let's live a little. In 1981, after conquering most of the world and scoring one of their biggest singles yet with Dickie's composition Another One Bites the Dust, one continent was still uncharted territory. In those days, not a lot of artists took the plunge and toured South America. By that time, artists like Peter Frampton or Earth, Wind and Fire came down there and played, but no colossal bands like Queen took that risk. Finally, the boys decided to tour there during their world tour in support of their latest album, The Game. The tour leg would be called South America Bites the Dust, and it would end up being one for the books. And once they arrived, it was pandemonium. Hordes of people from Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay and Bolivia crossed the borders to see the Argentina shows.
Fred, how do you feel playing and singing before 200,000 people?
Haven't done it yet.
Hola!
Hola!
Yes.
Can you listen?
Yes, yes.
And there's also this sort of revolution that you've made in Argentina. I have friends and people from Uruguay, across the river, who are flying and taking ships and coming just to see you and welcome you.
That's amazing. What can we say? The people here are so friendly and they look as if they're going to have a really good time, which is what we want.
So welcome to Argentina. We have here a friend.
Thank you, gracias. Do you like soccer?
Yes, I like soccer, but you won the World Cup, didn't you?
Le preguntaba si está atemorizado, si tiene miedo, después de lo que le pasó a John Lennon.
No, no tengo miedo.
¿Viajaste con tu familia?
My family's here, yeah. Do you say we always bring them? I try to have them as close as possible because I have a small boy of 2.5 and I think the more time you spend together in the early years the better. So we try and arrange that we're never apart for more than 10 days.
We're happy to be here, really.
General Viola, the military dictator that ruled Argentina during that time, demanded to meet with the band. The band accepted the invitation and went to meet with the leader, except for Roger, who stated that they came there to play for the audience, not for the government. Later that December, General Viola would be ousted in a coup. Finally, the night before their last date at Vélez Sarsfield, the whole band and organization was invited to a celebratory asada at the weekend retreat of the stadium president. At one point, the press appeared and Freddie decided to mess with them. He wasn't in the mood to answer their repetitive and unimaginative questions, so he and his interpreter came up with a plan. The latter would translate the questions for Freddie so that he knew what he was being asked. However, while Freddie spouted nonsense answers, the interpreter would tell the journalist from Pello magazine whatever came in his head. When they got the magazine, they were delighted to see that all the answers were pure fiction, except for one answer regarding Diego Maradona. Freddie met Maradona at a party in Castelar, just outside Buenos Aires. They spoke, and Freddie invited the football player to appear on stage during their Buenos Aires concert. Maradona accepted immediately. While Freddie, not really a football fan, didn't know who Maradona was, the rest of the band were quite big fans of him, admiring his constant pursuit of excellence. Maybe Freddie took to the footballer because to some extent he identified with Maradona. They both came from the same humble upbringing, and they both had an unquenchable thirst for success. On the 8th of March 1981, during their last concert in Argentina, the magical moment happened.
I'd like to introduce a friend of yours and ours tonight. I'm sure you all know him. Maradona. It's quite cute, actually.
El centro mismo del escenario. Le da el micrófono.
Quiero agradecer a Freddy y a los Queen por hacernos tan feliz. Y ahora, otro muerde el polvo.
After swapping t-shirts on stage with Freddie, Maradona introduced their hit Another One Bites the Dust and then retreated backstage. The whole stadium went bonkers. Later, asked by the press if that gesture was a demagogic act, Freddie labeled it as just a friendly gesture. If the audience thinks it's okay to do such a thing and appreciates it for what it is, I don't give a damn what the press might think. I'm going to do what I like, regardless of whether the press labels it as demagogic or wrong. In the end, the tour was a real success, such as by the last concert they managed to set a world record for an audience attendance, and also every Queen album occupied a position in the top 10 Argentinian music charts. Although it took a lot of maneuvering and careful planning from the Queen organization, the boys stepped into the unknown, not sure how it would all go down, and came out champions. A phrase that will become a motif in the Queen story. Thank you very much for watching this first episode of the series, and also thank you for keeping the Queen legacy alive. If you liked this video and want to show your support for this new channel, please leave a comment, share the video and subscribe. Thank you all, and God save the Queen.
Oh, what a jam!